Hey everyone, Kyle here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how to build a SaaS app. So if you're looking to build a software as a service app, these are the 5 main skills you need to develop an app. So really there is 2 main types of apps you're going to be building. You're going to be either building a web app or a mobile app. So let's get into the skills you need for each of those. So first thing you're going to want to know is front-end development. So this is all about really working with different parts of the front end. And if you're going to be doing a web app, you're going to have to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And optional is a JavaScript front-end framework like React or Angular. And what each of these do are their different parts to building out the front end. So the front end is kind of what you see when you're interacting with an app. So HTML is kind of like the building blocks. CSS is kind of the way to design those building blocks. And then JavaScript is to add interaction with your app. So this is for web. If you're doing something with iPhone, there's going to be Xcode, and this is going to be for iOS. And for Android, you're going to need to know Android Studio for your front end. And really, Xcode is built just to make it so you could build in your front end interface for an iOS app. After that, you're going to have to learn back-end development. So this is essentially how data gets processed. So every single time you search something into Google, they are running back-end code to give you out the results that you're ultimately going to see on the front end. So back-end, you're going to have to learn some type of programming language like Python. And if you're building a web app, you're going to need some type of web framework. And even if you're building a back-end API, you're going to need some type of web framework. So something like Django with Python could work. You could do Ruby on Rails. You could do Node.js and Express. And these are really, like I said, the back-end part where it processes the data. The next thing you have to understand is a database. So this is how you store data. So Amazon has something like over 100 million products. All those products and the information get stored in a database. And let's just go through a little example. So someone goes into Amazon, they get the front end part, so they get the home page. They then go type something into the search. What this is doing is calling onto the back end. They're processing that information, accessing the database, and then sending that information back out to the front end to show the products that resulted from that search. So some popular databases, MySQL, and then you could do MongoDB are some popular ones, but there are many databases, there's many backend languages, but front end you're going to be sticking with usually these parts. After you understand databases, the next thing that is going to be super important is working with APIs. So if you need to process credit cards or maybe send SMS messages or send emails, on behalf of your app, you're going to be working with APIs. So you need to understand how to work with them. Some popular ones are Twilio, Stripe, SendGrid. Just working with APIs. If you're building any type of modern SaaS app, you're going to be working with an API to build that out. And then finally, the last and 5th skill you should really learn to build out a SaaS app is DevOps. So understanding how to host your app, how to work with servers, stuff like that, how to work with your DNS so your domain is working properly. This is going to be another section that is very important. So hosting, just making sure it's fault tolerant. And these are the 5 basic skills you need to get a basic SaaS app up and running. It gets more complex with more scale. You're going to need know more things about DevOps, more things about databases, more things about backend development, just to really make sure you're building a good fault-tolerant app that could handle a lot of users. So these are really the 5 basic skills you need that you could build an MVP SaaS app with, and really what you should look to learn if you want to build your own SaaS app, again, either web or iOS. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want more software content, go ahead and subscribe down below.